Welcome to our Portuguese live class. Seja bem-vindo ou bem-vinda à nossa aula ao vivo aqui no nosso canal, onde hoje vamos aprender um pouco sobre os artigos, para ser específico, artigos definidos no português. Be welcome to our Portuguese live class, and today the subject of our class I will teach you the articles, to be specific, talking about the definitive articles in Portuguese. Starting it, you can ask me, teacher, what is articles? O que é artigos, professor? Articles, not just in Portuguese but in Spanish and English, are words that follow a component, actually comes before a noun to indicate their number. In Portuguese you have to indicate if it is singular or plural, and also the gender, if it is feminine or masculine. Those rules apply also to Spanish, and those articles can be classified into definitive articles and indefinitive articles. Today I will teach you just the definitive articles. First, let me give you one example. Definitive articles determine the nouns. O menino, the boy, but if it is feminine, a menina, the girl. Indefinitive articles don't determine nouns. We just say, it's a boy, menino, or a girl, uma menina. This is the difference from definitive articles and the indefinitive articles. Definitive articles, they determine the nouns. O menino, the boy. O livro, the book. And indefinitive articles don't determine the noun. Just a book, livro, or feminine. This is the big difference from determine articles and indefinitive articles and definitive articles. But we are going to see more about definitive articles here. In Portuguese we have 4 definitive articles. 2 are masculine and 2 are feminine. And one is used for singular, another for the plural. First is o, a. O and the a is the singular. We use the o for masculine things, for example, generally when the noun ends in o, like livro, o livro, o menino, the boy. And the plural, I don't have 2 books here, but imagine there are 2 books. Os livros, os livros. Also the feminine one, we have a caneta. Caneta ends in a, so feminine. A caneta, the pen. But if I have 2 pens, I have to say as canetas, the pens. In English, all the 4 words are just the. But in Portuguese, there are a huge difference on each one. So we use o for masculine singular, os for plural and masculine, o livro, os livros. And the a and the as, a caneta, as canetas. But we have more examples here. Pay attention. O vizinho ganhou a loteria. Here I'm determining who, the neighborhood. The neighbor has won the lottery. I'm not saying a neighbor. No, here I'm saying the neighbor. So we have to say o. And here we are using o because vizinho ends in o, so it's masculine. Another, now a feminine one. A criança caiu na praça. Criança ends in a, so feminine. The child. A criança caiu na praça. The child has fallen in the square. Here I'm not saying a child. It's a child. The child. A criança. But if it was on the plurals, would it be as crianças? But we have some examples in the plural. Talking about the use of definitive articles, many students ask us, but When do we use those definitive articles? I will teach you when. We use it in some name of cities, states, and countries, like o Rio de Janeiro, a Bahia. In United States, it's a plural, so we have to say os Estados Unidos, the United States, os Estados Unidos. It's a plural name, okay? Generally talking, all countries, Portugal, yes, I would say all countries that I remember, always we have to use the definitive articles. O Brasil, a Argentina, okay? Cities, there are some exceptions, but the countries always use. In name of the seasons, always we say, for example, here in Brazil we are in the autumn, or the fall. We would say o outono, but always we say o verão, a primavera, o inverno, o outono. Always we have to use the definitive articles. Eu gosto do verão. I like the summer, for example. Also, we use the definitive articles in some cardinal points, like o norte, the north, o sul, o leste. Eu vivo em o sul do Brasil. I live in the south of Brazil. We are using a definitive article. We cannot say, eu vivo sul. No, don't say this. Always for cardinal points, use the. That would be o sul, o norte. Eu vivo em o sul, em o leste. For example, also in Portuguese we use names of holidays and anniversaries. For example, the Christmas time, o Natal. I cannot say Natal. Say o Natal. A Páscoa, the Easter time. O Dia da Bandeira Nacional, the National Flag Day. Always we have to use the definitive articles here. Also, we using some surnames and titles. For example, the Lord, o Senhor. But if it was a girl, a senhora. Here I have to change o for a senhora, o doutor, o professor, the teacher, the doctor, a louca, the crazy one. Also in Portuguese, this is one question that I always receive from my students. For example, because sometimes it's very common for us to say o Neymar, the Neymar, but the use of the article here, it's not mandatory, it's optional. So you could say o Neymar or Neymar. For example, o Paulo, a Carla, o Mateus. So you can use it or not, it's not mandatory, but many Brazilians here we use those articles for men and for women. Let me use a feminine one now. A Anitta. A Anitta é brasileira. Or I could start without the article. Anitta é brasileira. Also, we use with possessive pronouns. But teacher, what are the possessive pronouns? Is my, yours, ours. So I can say minha caneta or a minha caneta. And one tip, here in Brazil we use a lot the articles on those cases. A minha caneta está em cima da mesa. My pen would be if I translate each word, but it doesn't make sense in English. A minha caneta, my pen is on the table. Always we are using those definitive articles here, but it's optional. You can use it or not. For example, o meu carro, my car. If you translate o here in the beginning of the sentence, doesn't make sense. My car. Don't say this. Nossa irmã, our sister. Okay? Easy or difficult? And also with the word all, that is todo, tudo in Portuguese, to indicate a totality. For example, todos os alunos, all the students, todas as mães, all mothers, but all the mothers would be, if you translate the articles, todos os entrevistados, all respondents. Easy or not? And also after the numeral both, that is ambos. Ambos os amigos, ambas as irmãs. Here I'm putting one masculine and one feminine for you see. Ambos os amigos, both friends. Ambas as irmãs, both sisters. Ambos os candidatos, both candidates. Easy or difficult? So we saw the uses of definitive articles, and here it's my invite. Next week I will be here on our YouTube channel and recording another live class, but talking about the uses of the indefinitive articles in Portuguese. The class will be like this. I will show you when to use the indefinitive articles in Portuguese. So if you liked this class, give a like on the video and always subscribe to our channel for you don't miss our next classes. Talking about classes, also we offer you a free trial class for you see how our classes are. If you are a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced in Portuguese, we have all levels. We teach all levels with private online classes. To schedule this free class, just click on the link here on the description and we can schedule it today according to your availability. And also we have a page on Instagram that every day we post content there, memes, grammar, life in Brazil. And it is, I hope I have helped you with a little, or in Portuguese, pouquinho. And next class I will teach you the indefinitive articles here, okay? I hope to see you soon. Espero ver você logo e até mais. Tchau, tchau. Vejo você logo.